Have you ever heard the statement, information is power? Well, I'm Barron Cruz, and I'm going to tell you how this applies to social interaction and charisma and competence. Information is power because when we know things, the more we know, the more we can predict a more optimal way to proceed because variables are taken out. We have a more thorough understanding. We have a better map of the territory, sometimes as people say. Therefore, we can devise a more accurate plan going forward to take all of those variables into account. Now, one of the things that people who are advanced socially, with social interaction, with public speaking, whatever it may be, what they can do is they can see exactly what's going on in their audience or the people they're talking to. They pick up on these micro and sub communications so they have a better picture and they know exactly what the other person is not only thinking, but more importantly, what they're feeling. Because people project what they want other people to think. So nobody ever wants to feel, nobody ever wants the other person to think they're creeped out, right? That's why people always try to act calm and cool even when they are creeped out. But an advanced communicator knows exactly that they're trying to act not creeped out, but they feel very creeped out. So now they know that. They have more information so they can step back and take a different approach. It's going to be less creepy. It's going to be less risky. Draw the person back in, and then they're going to be able to feel when that person is not creeped out. Now they're more calm and they're more approachable and they're more relaxed. And now they can get back to what they're trying to do. See, at the very low end of the spectrum, most people come across as very creepy. Like that is the very bottom rung is being creepy, that other people who maybe even aren't advanced socially are like, God, I don't know what it is, but I don't like that guy. He's creepy. Well, I read a definition once that people are described as creepy anytime they want something more than the other person. I think that's kind of interesting. I think it's kind of ambiguous, but I think there's some truth to it. But long story short, what we want to do is we want to become advanced socially so we know, so we can look around the room and we can know bing, 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 like little percentages pop up over people's heads about what they're feeling and what they're thinking. That way, when we approach or we converse with them, we can tailor our message through mixed signals, through tonality, through facial expression, through body language, through proximity, through all these cool things that we talk about to really laser focus on them, get them engaged, and get them to see and understand what we're communicating the most effectively. So in order to do so, how do we develop these skills? Well, it's not easy, but that's a good thing, because if it was easy, everyone would be an amazingly advanced communicator and there would be no edge to developing that advanced skill set. So what you're going to do is you're going to check in with the other person and really see what they're thinking by verbalizing it. Now, it sounds kind of strange when I talk about it. Like, what I'm encouraging you to do is say someone feels kind of creeped out, right? But you can't say, hey man, are you creeped out? You can pretty much do just that, except for you want to use a little more finesse. So say you're hanging out with some guy and a couple misfits come through the door and you can just kind of see their body language tension up. You're like, yeah, got kind of creepy in here, huh? That's not going to seem weird to them. That's actually almost like a preemptive empathy statement. And so most likely, if you're right, of course, you'll be like, yeah, man, what's going on with those guys? That's weird. I'm not comfortable with that gel mohawk, right? So what you're doing there is checking in. Were you correct in your assumption that he felt creeped out? So now by checking in and him answering, yeah, what's going on with those guys? You know you were correct in that. So now you're more competent in anticipating someone's feelings next time. And that's pretty easy, right? If you're talking to someone, all of a sudden some guys walk in and they turn like this, it's pretty obvious they're creeped out and they're uncomfortable. But let's get into something a little more subtle. Let's say someone's using some descriptive words to describe someone you both work with. So like, oh yeah, did you run into Mark at the barbecue? And they're like, yeah, Mark was there and it was a good time. You notice just a little hesitant right there because most of the time people would have more things to say, yeah, Mark was there, he came with his family, it was cool. But instead they say, yeah, Mark was there, it was a good time. Just that pause. So now you think, maybe they have a problem with Mark, maybe they don't like him. So now you want to get more information. So what do you say? You're supposing that they have a problem, Mark. So you say, yeah, Mark, I don't know, he showed up, what was that like? How was he acting, right? That's pretty stupid, right? Did he show up? How was he acting? All you're doing is giving them a chance with a very ambiguous statement to go into further detail. So let's say, yeah, Mark was there, it was a good time. Yeah, I saw him around a little bit, what's going on? What's going on with Mark? right? What does that mean? Nothing, right? But it gives them a chance because most people want to express things when they have hitches, communication hitches and subcommunications that they don't expose, they expose a little bit. Most people want to get into that. So I say, yeah, what's going on with him, man? I saw him around a little bit. How was he at the barbecue? And they say, yeah, I don't know about Mark, man. I saw him doing this and he said this and this. So now you've filled out more of the variables, but more importantly, you knew that your read was correct, right? So they validated your read that they were uncomfortable with something about Mark, asked him about it. Now, once again, they think you're a good listener. Like, wow, how did he figure that out? Like, what's going on with that, right? Good. But more importantly, now you know your read is right. So eventually, you're going to have said so many things like this and checked in with so many people, that you're going to have confidence in you're being able to read that. You're going to be able to paint a picture just by the way someone says a sentence of not only what they're thinking, but how they're feeling. So that's another component of the matrix, to know how everyone's thinking and feeling, as opposed to most people feel like they're going, well, how was I supposed to know that you were feeling that way? You didn't say it, right? Well, what if you could know how they're feeling without them saying it? That's what a master communicator does. That's what an advanced social skill set enables you to do. So think about the confidence you have if you walk into a bar, you walk into a party, you walk into a meeting, and you can tell within one line out of people's mouths how they're feeling and what they're thinking about. It's pretty impacting because you can create that rapport by coming at them with just the right approach. You can express yourself the most effectively because if you know someone, let's say for instance, they're angry, right? They're just angry, but they're trying to express that you're at a board meeting. Barron walks in, hey, Barron. But you know the tone at the end was a little too aggressive, so you know they're not doing that well. So you sit down by, hey man, how's things been going, all right? And they're gonna say, oh yeah, but I got in here late and I got a ticket on my Porsche. Okay, well you're right about that. And now you can create that rapport. Now they like you because they feel understood. But more importantly, once again, you have the ability to know what people are feeling, tailoring everything you do to fit that to be the most effective in your communication.